I'm about to be very transparent and it's going to be very hard. So, just by the way my home looks and by the way I may look or the way I act, you never really know anyone. You never really know your neighbors, your best friends, anybody in your life. And I feel like you never could possibly know what anybody has lived through their life unless you've actually lived in their shoes and walked in their shoes. So, I kind of want to be transparent with you guys today, so come join me, get some motivation and for your cleaning tasks and all of that, or just sit back and relax, and let's get started in today's video. Before I tackle the kitchen, I'm going to get this load changed over and get some new stuff done and clean out this lint trap. It needed it so bad. But let's get started and a few things that I wanted to talk about. Most of everything is pretty easy to follow along and just watch as you go on my cleaning and everything, and I usually will stop and pause if there's something I need to talk about. Hey friends, thank you so much for clicking on today's video. It means the world to me and my family and all those things. I really appreciate it, and I hope that my content is everything that you could need or want to get you the motivation to get up and go or to sit back and relax. That is always my goal, is for my friends to give them the motivation, because you guys give me more motivation than I could ever give you. So thank you so much. And also, if you're new here, I hope that you like today's video, and if you do, please don't forget to subscribe. It helps my channel out so much to get more subscribers, and that way you don't miss any future uploads. Now, I kind of want to talk about a few things personal, so I hope that everybody tries to be very nice and remember to be nice in the comments. I would really appreciate it. I have always been a people pleaser, so it is something new to me that I have gotten better with not being such a people pleaser and not worrying so much about what people think. I am still new to it, and I'm still learning how to not worry about what other people think or what they think of me or anything like that, and just being true to myself. Now, with all that being said, I wanted to say that some of you know a little bit more about my past as a child and the things that I've been through and grew up with and all that. So I won't go into a whole lot of detail in this video, but if you do want a specific video for that, let me know. I can go into more detail about my childhood, but I'm not planning on going into great detail. So I'll give you some highlights and things, because first of all, it's a cleaning channel. I want it to be motivating and everything in a lot of ways, but I also, if I can help anyone else to understand their life or their past and maybe why they are the way they are, or to help anyone emotionally or mentally grow or to understand themselves, I would love to be able to help. I want to use any platform that I have for more than either just making money or just for, I want to be motivation all the way around, because that's what I'm always looking for. Not just mental, but not just motivation to clean and to cook, but mental motivation. I'm always on the search for understanding myself and understanding others and understanding the world around me. Now, that kind of goes along with a lot of my passions with science and physics and psychology and philosophy, and I am not an expert in any of these, and I will go in more detail here in a minute. that is just some things that I love to read about and exploring more about. Now, I do not want to go into a whole lot of detail or anything, but I'm going to start with just saying it out loud. And it's going to be hard, and it's been something I've been embarrassed about my entire life. So, growing up, as you know, we were in and out of like women's shelters for abused women for many, many years. We were so very unstable. We moved around. We were running from my stepdad for so many years that I did not get an education. Now, with that being said, now that I'm older, I had to learn how to read. I had to learn how to write, all on my own. I went to school for a little bit, so if I ever say I went to school, I did for a few days and a couple grades or something, but I was always behind, never made good grades because I was never in it long enough. So my mom ended up saying that I was homeschooled, but I was never actually homeschooled. So I do not have an education. Everything that I know now is stuff that I have taught myself and learned myself because I wanted to learn. I wanted to be able to know things without the embarrassment of knowing that I don't know things. Like in school, it was so embarrassing. And I could barely read when I was in school. And I would be so embarrassed when a teacher would raise my hand or whatever and tell me to read, right? It was the most embarrassing thing. Now, granted, it didn't happen very often because I did not go to school, I don't even think a full year of my life, if you add up all the days that I periodically went. But yeah, so we were running and all this stuff for many years, and then after we had settled in a little bit more and things had got calmer, I was so far behind, and I didn't have the help that I needed to be able to catch up. So no, if I ever misspell things or if my grammar is off, just know that I try my best and I try to always look up the proper grammar or the proper spelling. So please have sympathy for me and or understanding. Now, with all of that being said, I have dealt with a lot of things like emotional distress, depression. I have never been diagnosed with PTSD, but I definitely feel that I have that. Growing up in abuse is kind of a given, but I just wanted to be open with everyone about some things in my past, and this is one of the things that is most embarrassing for me, because if you know me, and if you really know me, then you know how I take education very seriously. And no, I've never gone back to get a GED or anything like that. At this point in my life, I barely make it through a day, so I know it doesn't seem that way with everything on these videos that seems to get done. But that's one thing about social media. You don't ever know anyone, and you don't ever really know what their life is like or what they've been through or anything of those sorts. So, and just because it may look like I get so much done in one day on a video or 2 days, because typically it takes me about 2 days to film all the things that I want to get done, I just want to be totally transparent with you guys, and I hope that you guys can understand and have understanding for me that this is something that's most embarrassing, the very most embarrassing, other than maybe the trauma that I went through as a kid that I didn't talk about until I was extremely in my 30s. Some of my husband's family didn't even know about all the things that I went through, and they still don't, because it is one of those things when you've been abused, you logically know that it wasn't your fault, and you logically know that the things that you've been through should not have a toll on your self-esteem or who you think you are, but it does. It always will, and it will be something that will always be ingrained in me forever. The fear and the trauma that I experienced and my family experienced will always and forever change us, and we will never be the person that we could have been. We will be, maybe we can grow and understand more with therapy and things like that, and sort of be maybe who we could have been if we had never experienced that. But with all that being said, I do not want to blame anyone, because I honestly, if you walk in other people's shoes, sometimes people only know what they know. And sometimes, like if you're a narcissist, which I really believe that my stepfather was one, I don't know that he's ever been diagnosed or anything like that. This is just from my own research on Google and all the reading and things of psychology and all the different personality traits of, and there are people who have characteristics of narcissism but aren't full-blown narcissists, so it could be very well something like that. And I don't want to gag on anybody or anything like that. That is not my intention, because honestly, the thing is, I think about, and I say all the time, is you only know what you know. And that even goes for the parents that raised me. They only were able to do the best that they could do. And and a lot of people don't have an understanding of themselves and the way they behave or who they are. And that's okay. That's not my goal, is to understand myself to the most that I can understand myself, so I do not repeat these cycles of abuse and all that in future generations. I want to know myself and know myself as full as I can. That's one reason why I study psychology. I know that one of my passions is astronomy and all those things that I love to read about, but psychology is more of a help for me. An understanding, and also having an understanding of people. You cannot get lemon juice out of like an apple. Some people are just incapable of understanding themselves fully or wanting to. Now, with all that being said, it doesn't dismiss maybe people who have really bad behaviors or who can just be ugly and mean or hurt and be violent. Now, it doesn't dismiss those behaviors, but it definitely helps to understand that there's nothing wrong with you. It was not your fault, that you did not deserve that behavior. That it is something to do with them and their not understanding what their behaviors really does to another person, and then they cannot put themselves in your shoes. It's impossible. So they can pretend, they can say they're sorry. That is to ease the situation and to get you off their back. So with all that being said, I just wanted to say that I hope that if you know people who struggle in life with anxiety, depression, any of these things, that I hope that you always remember that there are probably traumas or past traumas or something that goes on with them, and something that has so drastically changed their mentality that in their mind forever, that they struggle to process and to be able to handle situations and circumstances in a healthy way. So, yes, that is very typical for people who've been abused, who struggle mentally. They have anxiety, depression, and all those things. And a lot of times it can weigh on your home and the way you hold your home and take care of your home. We are just needing to change all of the kids' bedding and get all that clean and done, and just pick up their room a little and vacuum it and clean underneath their bed. I found a few trashes under their bed and just taking care of that real quick. I also wanted to say thank you so much for your understanding, and I hope that if I ever misspell anything, that you guys will let me know in a kind way. I would really appreciate it for the lookout for me, because it is definitely something I still struggle with to this day. And I appreciate you guys so much. I love you. Thank you for your understanding. And I really think that maybe I take because I've lived a life, and I think maybe I have more of an understanding of people and maybe their circumstances because of what I've lived through, and I think that it's a positive in a way, because I'd rather not dwell on all the negative of people and dwell on the things that they've been through and want to help them. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. So that is my goal on this channel as well, is not only cleaning motivation, but I would really love to be able to help people and use a platform to help people. But real quick, you like this painting? Shh, my sister did it. Isn't she so talented? She paints a lot of journals, and this painting she painted just for me, and I was having it in the kids' room, but I'm putting it back in the living room. I just love that painting. My sister's name is Lisa Hannah, and she does have a blah, 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 I can't think. She has an internet, so you can look up her name and Lisa Hannah Art or something like that. I have to go back and look. But yeah, if you want to buy any one of her journals, they are beautiful. And maybe next video I'll have to take some screenshots of her journals to send you, but she's very good at painting as well. So she's very talented in painting. And I've never been talented of anything. I mean, I play guitar, but I don't think I've ever really had an ear for it. I've just been good at playing. I can't hear a song and then just turn around and play it. Does that make sense? So I like music, and I like reading about psychology and things like that, but I have never been good at anything. So, and I also wanted to say thank you guys so much for this channel. I mean, I feel like it's you guys who are watching it. It is not me. And I've never felt accomplished with anything in my life, and I just appreciate you guys for supporting me, because it gives me a sense of accomplishment that I have never had before in my life, and a sense of pride. And I cannot tell you what that means to me, to feel proud of something or work that I have done. And I am a little OCD, so it takes me a long time to edit these videos, and they never feel perfect, but I end up settling for what I settle for. But thank you so much, and gonna make me cry, but I am so grateful for founding this YouTube community. You guys are so sweet, and I hope that if you're new, that you think about joining this community. And because everyone here is so kind and understanding and has lived very similar lives, and it is a wonderful thing to be able to talk and communicate with one another and support each other. And I feel like it's very hard for me, probably because of the abuse. I still struggle. I'm very much an introvert. I still struggle with going out into the world, and I can socialize for a little bit and be okay, but I'm always a little awkward, and I will probably always be that way. But I feel like the abuse changed me to my core so much that it is a struggle for me to go out and socialize. I like being at home. It's more comfortable. It's easier, especially with kids. And I know that may not always be the healthiest, but that is how I am. I'm very much so an introvert. I like being at home, and I like being in my own space. And I appreciate everybody that always invites me places, because it means a lot to me, even though I feel like I may not be able to, or that I am busy or something like that. But just the invite means a lot to me. Like, my neighbors invited us over for like a play date, and that means so much to me that no one could ever know. And I know that it's always a little awkward for me to socialize, but I do like it from time to time, and I do appreciate it. So thank you. This girl absolutely just pulled a Mission Impossible move to get underneath this bed, and it was embarrassing. So I cut some of it out because it was so embarrassing trying to squeeze myself in and then back out. And seems like, I think when I was younger and skinnier, it was so much easier, but now it is so hard. So as you can see here, it is a struggle, and yeah, that was my face for sure. But I just left it in because it was kind of funny and it is a real life moment, but I did cut some of it out because it was kind of embarrassing, okay? But yeah, we are finishing up in the middle boys' room, and then we will be heading to Lana's room next and tackling some things in there and tackling these sticky parts all over the windows in my house. I still have a couple more windows that I need to tackle, but I tackled so many this day, and it feels so much nicer because they have been driving me nuts the entire time we've lived here, and I have never taken that sticky stuff off, and I cannot believe it's taken me this long to tackle that. But when we get to Lana's room, she does have like a blow-up bouncy house that she got for her birthday. That's kind of the main gift that we had gotten her for her birthday, that and like a remote control car. Because if you know, I'm trying to stay away from buying like lots of little toys and spending more for like, not more, but for like better items or more specific items. That way we're not having as much clutter and things like that. I'm trying to be more minimal and more conscious of how we spend our money and the things that we spend our money on. And this bouncy house is definitely something that is well used and well worth the money, which we had gotten it on a sale around her birthday in August, and the kids love this thing. It is amazing. So, and I just wanted to pack it away for a little bit because I'm still trying to clean up after Thanksgiving and all those things. So I didn't do a full Thanksgiving clean with me because I honestly just try to tackle it all that day or that night, and I was like, I feel like everybody's gonna have a Thanksgiving clean with me. So I was like, y'all will probably have plenty of motivation from all of these other wonderful people who do all of that, so I'm just gonna do an everyday regular like life motivation. So let's get this cleaned up and her room vacuumed, and I also want to wipe off all of her furniture, her bedding, her dresser, all of that. Are you hiding?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm hiding in the closet.
Are you being silly?
I'm hiding in the closet.
I love you.
I want you. I'm hiding in the closet.
You like your room?
Yeah.
Yeah. I really hope that my channel gives more motivation in so many different ways, not just in cleaning motivation, decluttering motivation, but I would really love to be able to help people out with their mental states. And I'm telling you, when you are mentally drained or when you are mentally just cannot take life anymore and it is hard, it helps me so much to get up and start cleaning. And I know that sounds bleh or crazy or whatever, but I have found that coping with my mental stress and my feelings of maybe out of controlness, because those resurfaced from my childhood quite often. I also always have this impending doom feeling like everything, my entire life could just fall apart at any moment in my life, and everything that I love or everything that I care about could just be taken and ripped from me. Whether it's a loss of a kid, a husband, a home, a car, all of it, I always live with this fear of impending doom. And if I can help with anybody else with any of their mental states or their mental struggles, I hope that I can. And for me, one way that I cope is by trying to stay organized and keep a clean home. And I know that sounds crazy, and I'm not saying that to be like an old fashioned or just clean your house or that's what every mom should do or wife should do, blah, 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 all that bullogna. That's not what I'm saying at all. Because I think in today's society, there is no gender roles anymore. Women have to work like men, and men should pitch in, and that is just my opinion now. I mean, you can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but that is my opinion. I just believe that in today's society, there should be more than one person helping, even with chores, home chores, and all of that. It shouldn't be all on just the woman or anything like that. I just typically handle it all because, like I've said before, my husband does work away. He comes home on most weekends and we spend the weekend together, but that's how we have to do it financially. That's the only way we manage the things that we manage. And it can be difficult because I do have to take care of a lot, but he has to take care of a lot. And that is just the only way that it works for us. Neither one of us have been very lucky to have, he went to college, but he never finished college. So he was lucky to have been through school and all of that. But if you know, and if you've been raised in a poor society or poor surroundings and you grew up poor, then you know how hard it is to break away from that. Not only do you not know how, but there's no help from family when you need it. There's no financial support. There's no one to help and say, this is how this works. We've had to figure most things out on our own. But the good thing is that I always say is our kids will have our help if we can. Our kids will have our help. We will help them back and forth to college. We will, make sure they have a place, and we will try our best to make sure they can go to college in some way or some form so that they can have and be set up more for life than we were. We hope and we are praying, and we work so hard to hope that and pray that that happens for our kids. And that is our goal, is that our kids do not have to live the way that either one of us had to live, which I love my husband's family. They have been like a family to me. They make my birthdays always so special, always make me a cake or buy me a cake. They always make me chicken and dumplings. They make it so special, and that's what means something to me, that you handmade me dinner and you made me a cake or whatever. And I love cheesecake, so that's what they gave me for my birthday or whatever. But that's what matters to me. I don't care about presents. I don't care about objects. I just want somebody to show they care And I just, something simple as that, that is so special. That is so amazing. And I love my husband's family like my own. They have been my family. They always will be and always have been. I haven't been around them for 17 years. My husband and I have been together for 17 years. I was very young when I met him, and they pretty much helped raise me. So, but yeah, I am very grateful for those things. And family is very important, and I hope that my kids will learn and understand how important family is in life, because without family, I don't know. But I don't ever want to know, and I don't want my kids to ever know what it's like to not have family, especially family that care, who try, who struggle, who work their butts off to provide or to give you the things. And my husband works so hard to provide for us, and I cannot express how grateful I am that he does what he does. But anyway, besides the point, I guess I'm feeling pretty grateful today. So anyway, I hope that you guys liked today's video, and I will stop talking because I know I have talked a lot. And I just hope that I am helping someone somewhere, somehow. And if I need to add some more psychology or science or anything into my videos to help, I definitely will. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys listen to some music for the rest of the video, but I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.